On May 27, 2025, sheriff deputies found two deceased teenagers in the Tonto National Forest on Mount Ord, which is a popular remote hiking and camping area of Arizona. This right here is 18-year-old Pandora Kajolsrud, and this right here is 17-year-old Evan Clark. The two had just completed 11th grade at Arcadia High School in Phoenix, Arizona, when they decided to go camping with one another on May 25th, 2025. Family members began to worry after both teenagers were not responding back to anybody. They were not responding to texts. They were not responding to calls. So deputies were dispatched to the area and were able to locate Evan's vehicle and saw what looked like something had been dragged from the vehicle. This is when authorities were able to find both teenagers' bodies concealed in the brush nearby with multiple GSWs. Investigators spoke to campers and hikers who were in the area around that time and said that on May 25th, they encountered a person who was acting very strange. Some of the information gathered led authorities to this man right here, 31-year-old Thomas Brown. Now, Thomas told investigators that he had been camping with his wife in the area starting on May 23rd, 2025. He said that his wife ended up having to leave the area on May 25th around the morning time, but he chose to stay another day. Investigators concluded that Thomas Brown had provided, quote, false and misleading information about the evidence that they had collected, which was grounds for his arrest. However, it took more than 4 months to examine evidence from the site, to follow up on leads from witness interviews, and collect swabs for DNA before Thomas could be arrested. It actually just came back recently that Thomas's DNA was all over the area of the crime scene. The two most prominent spots were in the victim's SUV and on the inside of gloves that were found with the victim's BLOOD on the outside of them. Thomas was ultimately taken into custody on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, and authorities were unable to put together an actual connection between Thomas and the victims. Thomas initially stated that he had interacted with Pandora and Evan while he was hiking, and the two of them were hiking and they crossed paths, but that was it. Authorities do believe at this moment that this was a random attack on two teens who Thomas felt like he had the upper hand with. Now, Evan was described by family as being a typical teenager. His mom said that he was funny, he was bright, and he was entrepreneurial. He was an old soul who was sensitive and loving, and his mom said that he deserved a long life. Pandora's mother said that her daughter was a beautiful, brilliant light in this world. Now, Thomas did make his first court appearance on Friday, October 3rd, 2025, where he was formally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole, and the judge said that he is going to be held on a $2 million cash-only bond. And based on what Thomas said while in the courtroom, which is that he is self-employed with his own LLC, however, he has not been able to work in quite some time because he, quote, doesn't have his computer. I don't believe that he will be getting out anytime soon.